man, this is a good moment. The sun is finally out. We've had really unseasonable rain the last few weeks. We've got a brief window of sunshine. So John and I today are going to be working on a project together, finishing off that stair project that he built in the last episode, making it look a little bit fancy, which I'm super excited about. And alongside that, the guys on the build site are going to be working really hard at this next phase of stonework, which is looking so beautiful. So let me show you what they've been getting up to. Okay, so up on the top floor, the guys are preparing to put in the concrete beams and air bricks on the next level. But around me, you can hear so much stonework going on. So Marcus is busy cutting stones down at the bottom there, and Adam is up here chiseling them, hammering them, bashing them up, getting them ready to go into place. Okay, it's a bit noisy, so let's just wait till Marcus finishes that cut, and then I'll show you what they've been up to. Right, he's done. So what they've been doing is putting in our first base layer or lowest level of stone around the entire house. They started over here, continuing on from those beams that they put above the new not garage, and they're wrapping it all the way around the house. So the idea is that we're building the stone up to the same level around the entire house before we continue building up. We've had a couple of questions from you guys about access since we showed you the stairs up the front of the house and how anybody with mobility issues is going to be able to get into the house, and it's a really good question. It's something that we've been thinking about a little bit, and well, the problem is easily solved by the fact that this is our front door in between those two pillars. So access from the back of the courtyard through that gate along the very level courtyard and up through the front door is very, very easy. The other thing that question got us doing is thinking a little bit about the layout of the house. Currently, all 4 bedrooms are on the top floor. Do you have somebody with mobility issues? That's a little bit challenging. So we've been thinking, and this is what we think we're going to do. So originally, our thoughts were that this room at the back here would be our utility room, like a big mud room where everyone can just come and dump their clothes. There's washing machines, tumble dryers, and all the rest of it. But the plan is to have a really big double door here, big glass kind of bifolding or sliding door to be able to open up onto the courtyard. And so we were thinking, actually, do you know what? It makes so much more sense for that to be a 5th bedroom. Now, 5 bedrooms is a lot, but we have loads of people that come and stay with us. And we've got some plans for this house, which might include you guys, which are pretty exciting. So it makes more sense for this to be a bedroom than it does for it to be a utility room. And that means that access to this bedroom is super, super easy. And because of the big sliding double doors, it could even be its own little separate annex, which is kind of cool. So from here, you can see how that line of baseline stone is coming around here. And here, where Adam is working, the guys are just starting to shape out this beautiful bay window. This is going to be like a really cozy reading nook, relaxing space. There's going to be big windows around it. And once this garage gets knocked down, we'll be able to stand at that bay window and look right the way down the farm, through the orchard, towards the vegetable garden, and maybe even be able to see the biopool from up here. Remember, we have to knock that garage down in order to get our permits approved for the amount of impermeable space we have on the farm. But more about that when that needs to happen. The other thing that we've been working on down here is kind of mapping out access to the house and thinking about how we can make the house really feel like it belongs. This little balcony behind me was an added extra from the original plans, just to extend the edge of the house out a little bit. So what we've been talking to the guys about is whether or not the stone comes all the way to the edge of the balcony or if it just went straight beneath the balcony and the balcony kind of stuck out on top of the stone. We've decided to wrap it around. So that's what she was doing right now, is digging the foundations to lay the concrete so that we can have a base for the stones to be laid upon. And what we're going to do is have an arched opening, kind of where he's standing, and this void beneath the balcony will become a bit of a storage space. So place for a wood store, place for things like lawnmowers, garden equipment, that kind of stuff. So when we first started uncovering this little section of the farm, which has become something of a, I don't know, we've always really loved sitting down here. The views are beautiful. We've always had this outdoor furniture. It kind of feels like its own little enclosed courtyard. And we want that to stay like that, but the gardens are going to develop all along the side of the house here. And when we first started digging stuff out, we realized that there was a path here. And I've got such a clear memory of Crusoe and I walking up this path. I think I was Was I pregnant with Sawyer? I can't remember. But anyway, Crusoe was about 15 months old, toddling up this path, and we came round here. This was where the derelict house was standing, which we are obviously building the footprint of the house on that footprint. And this came all the way around to where the stone table used to sit in front of the derelict house, which was a huge selling point for us for this whole property. And we owe a lot to that stone table, actually. We basically bought the entire house based on this ancient granite stone table, which just spoke of family and gatherings and all of the things that we hoped our life here would bring us, which it has. So, yeah, funny to think how much it's changed. It's really quite incredible. But we really want to keep that old winding path that goes through this garden with big shrubs and lots of flowers and almost like a secret path. And it will meet this path here that goes down to these stairs that John built the other day and connecting to this pathway that will go up a few steps to access the veranda. And this path that comes all the way down these stairs will continue on from here all the way around this corner in this same style as these paths which John did a few years ago with the granite slabs to connect to this path which goes around this corner to access the lawn and the garden. When we first got here, this bit was completely overgrown. Again, I have a memory of Crusoe and I think it might have been Crusoe and John picking oranges off that tree, and this just being covered in bamboo and being almost completely inaccessible. But this is what I love about John, is that at that point when I was going, sorry, we can't even walk around the farm, he was going, I can see a pathway there and it's going to lead up here to the house. We didn't at the time know that we were going to build a new house, but he always knew that one day there would be a path that would take you up these little stairs and up to that house. Okay, so what's the plan today? We're back here at the steps and we want to make them look a little bit prettier and a little bit more like they belong. So left over from the stone house project, we've got these beautiful terracotta tiles. We have them in hexagons and we also have them in squares. And we're going to cut them up into various shapes and sizes and see if we can come up with a beautiful pattern to tile this staircase. Before we start that tiling, there is a little bit of time for me to play a little bit of my favourite game, June's Journey. And I know loads of you guys play it too, but if you haven't downloaded it yet and given it a go, now's your chance. You can scan this QR code on the screen or download it using the link in our description below. It's completely free. Let me tell you why I love it. June's Journey is a murder mystery game set in the glamour of the 1920s, following the main protagonist, June Parker, as she tries to uncover the mystery of her sister's murder. There is so much to discover, with a load of hidden objects games and also the opportunity to decorate your own island. What I love about it is June isn't a police officer. She's not a detective. She's just a person using her own emotional intelligence and wit to uncover this case. And it's just really, really good fun. You can also play online with your friends or join different groups. I love it for the escapism it provides from the day-to-day. For a little bit of that 1920s glamour before we go and tile a staircase. So here's that QR code. The link is in our description below. It's completely free to download and I think you're going to love it. It's genuinely one of my absolute favourites.
Thank you.
Okay, out the way. Buddy, out the way. I'm trying to work. Go away. Go away. Right. Let's chop that one up first. Okay. Need a brush. It's not a game, buddy. It's not a game. Just because I'm running, I need to get the brush. yeah. Shibu's done a really great trench there, hasn't he?
He has, yeah.
Nice ditch. They'll be filling that up, I think, tomorrow. Right. Obi, go away.
Obi! Obi, what you doing? You silly dog. You a silly dog.
So the plan is I don't really know. Just got to kind of make it up as we go along, I think, and hope that it works out. If we start that like that, it's not going to work though, is it? Because we're going to need that to be over the side like that. We need to get the tiles cut for the front first. We really want to know how that vertical is going to look. What we want to do is we want to make it really interesting, you know. I don't want it to be a boring staircase. We want it to be interesting. That means it's going to take a long time, you know. These are the kind of projects that I know in a different kind of world I'd really enjoy getting stuck into, you know. It's the kind of project that if I was going to the office and I was working a day job 5 days a week, at the weekends, it would be something I'd really look forward to coming home from the office to get stuck into and spend my weekend being really creative. The truth of it is, at the moment, there's so many projects going on all around us, and I feel very often like I'm being pulled in so many different directions that it's quite difficult to concentrate on projects like this, and that means that sometimes it can be really difficult to enjoy it. At the moment, Tara and I, we're going, of course, we've got the build going on. We've got to make decisions about how things look and about how fast or how slowly progress takes place on the build. We've also got two wonderful young boys to look after, and the YouTube business to look after too. And then, of course, on top of that, we've got elements of pressure right now with regards to money and financing things and how much things cost. We started a process in December, believe it or not, with a Portuguese bank, one of the newer Portuguese banks, to try and get a loan to help us pay for everything. Yeah, and in truth, 6 months later, we're still waiting for the bank to give us a loan to help us out, to help pay for this. I'm starting to get fed up, and you know, it's one of those things that's on my mind. So rather than being able to enjoy something like this, I'm really, you know, feeling quite pressured at the moment about a lot of different things that are, you know, it's the dream life, isn't it? We're building a dream house here, but it doesn't come without consequence or complications. Yeah, I think that's probably the easiest way to say it. Okay, so that'll go like that.
Yeah, so like John says, it has been a really stressful couple of months. A few weeks ago, I did a question box on Instagram, and so many people asked so many amazing questions, and I tried to get back to as many as I possibly could. And we'll do another one again soon, because it was just, I don't know, it felt like a really nice way to connect with everybody. But I had such an amazing message from somebody who said, thank you for sharing the fact that you guys were getting a loan and stuff, because it made it feel so much more relatable and so much more kind of like I could achieve my dreams too. And I just think it's important that we do talk about these things. You know, sometimes it's uncomfortable to talk about money. Lots of people don't like talking about money, but the truth is, it's what's making our world go round, sadly, and we need a lot of it at the moment, and we're trying to find different ways to get a hold of it. And something that we don't love so much about Portugal is how bureaucratic it can be and how much paperwork Portuguese departments need in order to move things through. That is basically what we have spent the last 6 months doing, is gathering various pieces of paperwork, of kind of information for the banks, for the mortgage lenders, and we're still no closer to having the money in our account. And it's actually just got to the point where it's almost untenable for us to continue. And like, it's just frustrating, you know, you're constantly having to find more bits of paperwork and more information. And I know that if you're Portuguese and you're watching this, you'll be nodding, going, yep, that's Portugal. That's just what it is. It's just like that. It's a system that's set up in a very, very clunky fashion, and it's a way that makes things very difficult to move stuff forward. So it has been a very, very stressful few months. I'm sure we're near the end of it. We're nearly there. We're nearly getting our ducks in a row, but it hasn't been easy. And if you're thinking of moving here and you're thinking of doing something similar, know that it's quite normal to need to ask for help, first of all. And it's also very normal to get very, very frustrated. And it's very normal for Portugal to drive you crazy in situations like this.
Yeah,
as much as we love it, we absolutely love it. You guys know we do. But it would be remiss of us not to talk about the stuff that we don't love as much as we talk about the stuff that we do love, because not everything in life is rosy and golden and perfect.
I really like projects at the moment that don't cost anything, you know? It feels a little bit less stressful. I'm going to prepare a bunch of these more common tiles and just get a pile of them somewhere, and then we can mix up some cements and stick them down, wait overnight, and then we'll clean them, and then we'll treat them, and then we'll put the grout into place. Okay, I really like these hexagons, you know? Such a beautiful shape.
They are amazing. Right, we'll leave John to that cutting just for a second, because while we've been having to go and sit for 2 hours in the bank, we miss out on so much, you know. I know everybody has this problem. If you've got to go and do life admin, you've got to take time off work, and that's what happens when we have to go and do that. And our work means that we miss out on really important things happening around the build, and we don't get to film them for you guys. So frustratingly, that's what happened over the last couple of days, and we missed a huge part of the build, which is really exciting, which I'll show you now. The first thing though is that Shibo has been digging this enormous trench along the side of the house, and that tomorrow is going to be filled with concrete, ready for the stonework to go on top of it. So we're making, as we said earlier in the episode, this stonework run all the way around the house, so that trench is ready. And the other thing that happened while we were at the bank, look at that, we got our stones around the bay window. Let me turn you around, you can have a proper look. So this looks absolutely beautiful. We've got stones wrapping all the way around that bay window. Obviously it's all going to be mortared and then pointed, but it just looks incredible, and it gives you such a beautiful sense of what it's going to look like. It just kind of, I don't know, having a curve there does something, doesn't it? It makes it feel really settled, really belonging, really soft. It's exactly the look that we were hoping for from the stones on the house, and it's perfect. We had our main contractor Joaquim and his son Jose here this morning. They were talking to us about next steps. So next step is to do that level, carry on with the stonework, and once that's done, they said to us, within a month, I don't know if there's always a bit of like, have I understood correctly? But within a month, they are going to have all of the walls up, the breeze block walls, continuing with the stonework. And I think we're going to be talking about a roof, which is pretty epic. It's going so quick now. It's this kind of fiddly bits, the building of the, somebody did correct my terminology the other day, and I can't remember what you said, I'm really sorry. The mouldings, the concrete forms around the house to create these concrete structures, that's what takes all of the time, and that's nearly done. They've basically built those all. Now it's just a case of putting the concrete beams in, pouring the last load of concrete, and then stonework, brickwork, building a house. We're going to have a house. One of the questions that we got the most on Instagram was, are we going to, when do we think it's going to be done? Who knows? But if we were in by next summer, I'd be so excited.
Let's have a look. One go from me. Okay. Hmm? What? What's that? That's what we're making now. Look, let me show you what we're doing. What we're doing is... Yeah, it's not ready yet, though. They're not stuck. We're going to have to stick them later. But what we're doing is we're taking... Look at this. This is going to be a border piece.
Then we can go like this. Or like a climbing train down there. Just trim this bit and then there's a playground.
What would you have in your perfect playground? What would it be?
Shop?
What would you sell in your shop?
Chocolate brioche.
Is it? Chocolate croissant.
And the flower market.
And the flower market? Oh, I'd like that. Maybe one day we should open a flower shop, me and you.
Our own flower shop.
If we were going to sell them, we'd have to pick them.
Now what about take them out of the ground and put them back in the pot?
Oh, well, that would be a good idea. That way we wouldn't be picking them, eh?
Yeah.
That'd be pretty smart.
All we do is this.
Yeah, it's a tricky one.
No, you're the cement mixer.
I'm not a cement mixer.
You are.
I'm not. The boys have found the loquat tree. Are you going to go see if there's loquats? Okay. Right, we're going to leave John to it and go and pick a few of our very first broad beans of the season. Come on, Crusoe. And hopefully find a bit of peace and quiet. It's been especially noisy today.
Yeah.
We're going to have beans for supper. It sounds like the boys might be getting stuck into the strawberries again. So, things in here are not looking as good as I'd like to report. I think all this rain has just confused everything. So I've lost almost all of my cucumbers, except for, I don't know, 5. We planted about 15. The beetroot seeds are not coming up. The patty pans, I think I've got 3 out of 8. The courgettes have basically halved in size. And all of our watermelons and melons got eaten by a grub of some description. Tomatoes are looking a little bit sad. So it's not going to be an easy year. I think we're going to, I don't know, it'll be interesting to see how it turns out. Anyway, I really need to get up here this week and do some weeding. So I might do that tomorrow. But for now, let's just go and get some mange tout and some favache beans or broad beans. So that's what we're going to have for supper. Oh, there's the slugs also. I planted 2 artichokes and they're just getting absolutely annihilated by the slugs. Tricky. I don't mind sharing, but not that much. Baby what?
Yeah.
The baby peas have grown up apparently.
Mom,
Yeah?
I got all of them.
Well done, my boys. Well done, guys.
We can carry them.
Okay, if you want to carry them, you can. That's okay.
But we can eat them. We can eat them. Dad. Dad, look. Beep. Beep. Right.
So, my favourite way to cook these broad beans is to fry them up with a little bit of garlic and fresh ginger with some olive oil and just have them with some salt. It's delicious. And actually a bit of soy sauce as well. It's kind of like a little bit of a Asian fry-up. This year, I really want to be better at being on top of the veggie harvest and not leaving it for days.
Guys, none of them are ready yet. Don't pick them, let them grow up.
Yeah. Not yet, sweetie.
There we go, we have started anyway. That's starting to look okay, isn't it? I'm pretty pleased with it. A couple of little rocks holding things in place there, but I think we've gone along the right route there. Nice. That's it. I think we're done for today. Didn't quite get as much done as I'd hoped. I really wanted to tile it all today so that I could be washing it down tomorrow and putting the grout in and the paint over the top. But sometimes things don't work out to plan, and you know, we were on the phone a lot today, of course, because of the things that were going on. I'm confident that we are going to find a way through and that everything's going to be okay. Just to finish off, we're telling our story. We're telling the story that unfolds as it unfolds. And today is a hard day. We're not looking for sympathy. We're not looking for anybody to buy us a coffee. We're just telling you how it is and preparing everybody for what may come in the future. Leave it at that for today, and I'll catch you tomorrow. Thanks very much for spending your time working with me this evening. I really, really appreciate it. It's been lovely chatting.
Dad, we got all of them. Mom,
Yeah.
we got all of them.
Well done, my